Bulletin from Power 102 Digital.
It is Friday, the 28th of June, 2024. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. This is news to 6 a.m. on News Power Digital. SEA results 2024 are out, and the Education Ministry revealed that 2024, the mean mathematics score in the SEA improved to 50.7 compared to 50.4 in 2023. Additionally, the mean English arts writing score is 59 compared to 53.4 in 2023, and the mean language arts score is 53.4 compared to 61.6 in 2023. English showed two divergent trends. On one hand, the English arts writing essay average score rose significantly. However, the English arts comprehension score fell substantially. All three bands of pupil performance saw a decline, but was less slight than 1%. The number of pupils top scoring, meaning over 90%, fell to 1.42% from 2.11% in 2023. A total of 18,177 students wrote the SEA this year, 50.21%, 9,127 were male, compared to 9,050 female. In some shocking revelations, police are working on the theory that Miss India Worldwide pageant contestant, registered nurse Sadhna Gangu, led a double life, allegedly working both as a nurse at the Princestown District Health Facility, allegedly as a producer of adult pornographic videos, according to initial investigations. This secret profession could have connection with her killing. Yesterday, police revealed that Gangu's murder investigation had taken a shocking turn, as several people starring in adult videos were expected to be questioned in relation to this case. Gangu, 44, mother of one and grandmother of two, was brutally gunned down around 4:30 p.m. outside the Princestown District Health Facility on Wednesday as she walked to her car on Circular Road. She suffered a fatal bullet wound to the back of the head. The shooter remains at large, having escaped in a waiting Nissan Tida along the Napur-Mayara Road. Police sources disclosed Gangu had been secretly involved in allegedly producing explicit content featuring multiple men and women over the past few years. One of the videos was shared online, the official said, but could not provide additional answers on her murder. Petal Ann Roberts is appointed as a councillor in the Tobago House of Assembly. THA Chief Secretary Fali Augustine made the announcement in the Assembly chamber during Thursday's draft budget debate. Councillor Roberts is expected to be sworn in as Secretary of Finance, Trade and the Economy today, Friday. Senior Counsel Martin Daly, a past president of the Law Association, has added his voice to the raging debate over the selection of silk in the country. In a statement issued on June 27th, yesterday, Daly, who is a former independent senator and newspaper columnist, admitted he was taken aback when he read the email report of the association's president, Lynette Seabrand Sweet, to members on June 24th. Quote, the participation of LAT was wholly inconsistent with LAT's public stance on the matter, which is a call for the reformation of the method for selection and appointment of senior councillors away from the sole choice of the executive, in effect the Prime Minister, into a transparent and independent process that does not suffer from a lack of accountability, Daly said in his statement. Daly was the association's president from 2008 to 2010. He viewed LAT's decision to participate in the selection process, given its stated stance on reform, as it did, as an error in judgment. In international news, South Africa and India will play in Saturday's final of the ICC T20 World Cup at Kensington Oval in Barbados. India defeated the defending champs England by 68 runs at Providence Ground in Guyana yesterday, Thursday. Set 172 runs to win. England were all out for 103 from 16.4 overs, with Brook leading the way with 25 runs to man of the match Patel and Yadav taking 3 wickets each, and Bumrah 2. Earlier, India made 171 for 7 in their allotted 20 overs, with opener Rohit Sharma leading the way with 57 runs. In the U.S., President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump levied personal attacks against each other as they sparred over the economy, immigration, and more at CNN's debate, the first town hall meeting and debate in Atlanta, the first showdown in the 2024 election cycle. Some Democratic officials are raising alarm over Biden's shaky performance as Trump went on the defensive and steamrolled with multiple falsehoods. The Trump campaign declared victory while Biden brushed off concerns. In the first debate matchup between the president and Donald Trump, Biden turned in what was described as a lackluster performance and had some Democrats wondering if concerns about his age may be valid. And finally, BBC is reporting British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak has refused to say whether or not he told his parliamentary aide Craig Williams about the date for the general elections, which is on July 4th. The Conservatives withdrew support for Mr. Williams as a candidate on Tuesday after he admitted placing a bet on the election date. He is denied committing any offense. Earlier, the Metropolitan Police disclosed the number of its officers under investigation over bets on the timing of the UK election had risen from 6 to at least 7. And that is news to 6 a.m. right here on News Power Digital. We'll have major news coming your way at 7 a.m. Good Friday morning to you.
Up to date and credible. Power 102 Digital.
Is 8.5 minutes after the hour 6 o'clock. Good morning to you wherever you are. Thank you so much for joining us as we broadcast to the globe. Good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us on the Power Breakfast Show on Power 102 Digital. Phil Caston, you just heard from the Jedi, Dr. Paul Richards. We'll hear from Wendell Stephen. We'll hear from Richard Ragoobarsingh. We got Shane, we got Ruben in the mix. Of course, my name is Steve Khan. All right. Quickly, 26 degrees at both Piarco International Airport and Crown Point in Tobago. And traffic-wise, I have nothing to tell you. Nothing. There's a little volume, but no traffic. Isn't that great? Good morning, Paul.
Good morning, Steve. Good morning, everyone.
I see you feeling cold.
May the force be with you.
Thank you so much. And with you as well. Well, Wendell, give me a headbutt there, boy. Good morning, Wendell.
Good morning, Steve. Good morning, Paul. Good morning, Richard. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. And good morning, listeners and viewers all over the globe. Is New York cold, Paul?
No.
Okay.
You know, I thought you was
Is
in New
London
York.
cold? Is Houston cold? Let me see where else it could go. Is Canada cold?
It's a 3-hour show.
David, where is this here? You're all stereotypical. Because I went and heard you went on a housebreaking rampage. Okay. You see America in trouble. Once a black man wear a hoodie, it's crime. You understand?
America in serious trouble. You don't get kicked with that. America in real trouble after last night.
Oh, gosh, we'll get into
Let me
that.
tell you, if that is the best they could do for presidential candidates, they're in trouble.
Plenty.
Oh, my God. And
I couldn't take it no more, you know.
Did the incumbent know where he was?
I don't know. And you know what's sad about that? That he was also being insulted because of it by the other person who's vying for office. Whilst lying to us, he was being insulted by the man. Oh God, clearly the man is not well. You don't have to insult him too.
He lied 12 times, they said.
Oh God, no.
Anyway, let's see who sent us. Yeah, we'll hear more about it. Let's see who sent us hellos on YouTube and Facebook this morning. DJ Ray out in Delaware, not Tampa, but Delaware. Good morning. Oliver Man Warren, how you doing? Godzillion Valencia, Slick Money Grip, what we called us yesterday. Good morning to you. Wendy and James, Boy Badesi and Davey. Ray out in West Palm Beach, Florida. They're under a heat advisory today. Carol Guevara, Rena Boodoo Jennings, CJ in New York, John Cato, Miss Ingrid in Tucson, Arizona, Alistair Hart, Evans David, Michael Robinson in Yokohama, Japan, Doreen Pierre, Wayne Ramsey, David Wares, and of course, Mrs. Wares. Paul Prudent, Ambrose Block, good morning. On WhatsApp at 318-1021. Let's see. We have. Oops, no, that's not it. Here we go. Sankofa, GNC Auto Security, Michael out in London, Dan Raj, good morning. Captain Ron in Orlando, he's home. Vincent out in the UK. All right, Vincent. Trevina Rima, good morning to you. Val, how you doing? Jaron, good morning. That's at WhatsApp 318-1021. Yeah, but last night's debate, I don't.
You don't know?
I totally agree with you, Paul.
Nobody knows.
That's the best two they could come up with.
If that's the best two,
you're so right.
They could come up with to be the leader of what they call the free world.
Yeah.
We're in no trouble.
Let me tell you, I watched it. I watched it first.
The liar, and the other one doesn't seem to know what it is Thursday, Friday, or Tuesday.
Yeah.
Well, he can't even lie because he can't remember.
I watched the first 15 minutes. And then I was shoots. I said, "Oh, I forgot to water my plants." So I decided to go and water my plants.
Steve,
I came back.
I did a little better than you. I got to 20 minutes. I just couldn't watch anymore.
I think I watched a little more than that, and then I just turned around.
But the thing is that after I watched the plants, I came back. I left them when they're talking about the borders, and I came back and they're still talking about the borders. I said, "But what is this?" And then they asked questions, and he said, "Give me 1 minute. Let me just answer him." And that took the whole minute.
Yeah, that's what Donald Trump kept doing.
Rest a classic, though. Trump said, "I don't know what he just said there. I don't even think he knows."
I don't think he knows.
I don't think he knows.
Yes.
Yeah, but Biden really didn't know what. Like he seemed like he did not know where he was.
I mean, you are on an international. I don't know, and they well prepare you for that. So that's a well prepared performance after 4 years in office.
Yeah, but that's an illness he can't do nothing about, He can't do anything about it,
What illness is
dementia?
Wendell?
Dementia.
You know he's been diagnosed with dementia?
No, I didn't say that.
But I asked you what you said. It's an illness he can do nothing about. And I asked you what illness, and you said dementia. We're not arguing, but you're making a statement.
Yes, I am. And I'm saying it's clear that man is suffering from early stages of dementia. It is obvious. I've been around people with dementia before. You understand? And there is nothing he or anybody could do about it. Nothing.
He is not looking cognitively 100% at all. That's
At all.
Sometimes he just stops mid-sentences like, what was I really saying?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay, all right.
And there's just a 3-year difference between both of them. Clearly, Biden showed his age.
No,
and they go up to 85.
I don't think it has anything to do with age either.
I don't think it's an age thing, Steve. I think there's some on a cursory look. I don't think that Biden is cognitively 100%. And all the reports this morning said Biden was shaky and raised concerns. Even the Democratic camp were on social media after raising concerns about whether or not he can last another 4 years.
Yeah,
and guess what? He was also being abused verbally by Donald Trump.
Well, we knew that was going to happen.
But Wendell, going into that debate and knowing what everybody knows about Donald Trump, it's going to happen. I'm not justifying it, I'm saying par for the course.
You know why? Because I was watching Biden at sometimes, and he was looking across at Trump, and almost like I could run across there and strangle this man for the lies he's spewing and all the. But
we know this is Trump's style, and the moderators did their best to correct some of the lies.
Yeah, they really did.
But you can't real time. Trump lies so much that sometimes you don't even know. Okay, is our or ours? Is you, me, or me, she?
You know what I didn't like?
He lies so much.
I think the moderators.
The best two candidates. Something wrong.
I think the moderators though should have stopped him when he was asked a question. He went back to replying to something with Biden. They should have stopped him. He did that on almost all the occasions.
Let me tell you something. They put serious systems in place this time technically, because they put out a video and sent it out to the camps about how, because of how Trump interrupts, they have red and yellow blinking lights to know when you're 15 seconds before you're 2 minutes up. And when you're 5 seconds before you're 2 minutes up, and then when your time up, and as the time goes up and the lights go solid red, your mic is turned off, and you can't audibly hear clearly what the other person is saying when your mic is off. So they had to put that in place because of Trump's performance 4 years ago. Because Trump will railroad you and not stop when he's supposed to stop, because of course he has no ethics at all.
That man actually tried last night to justify January 6th, you know, when they raided when he invaded the house. You know?
Which should be evidence in a court case again.
He tried to defend that by switching and saying Biden, what happened since Biden took over. He answered that question yet, you know? I was America. Good luck. And Trump called other countries asshole countries. Yeah.
America, you're in trouble.
I felt sorry for Joe Biden, and I felt even more remorse for America. Because they're going to end up with Joe Biden still 10 times better than Trump on his worst day.
I agree. This is a stable person, but you never know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Shocking news, allegedly, coming to hand. One of the newspapers is reporting police are working on this theory that Miss India Worldwide pageant contestant, registered nurse Sadhna Gangu, may have led a double life, working both as a nurse at the Princestown Health Facility and allegedly as a producer of adult pornographic videos.
I saw that. I just read that story before we came on. And my mouth dropped because I started to get a video of...
Why your mouth drop?
Huh?
Why your mouth drop?
My mouth must drop. It's porn, you know. Everything else... You see, I have to be careful about my off-the-cuff comments. Hold on. Paul, Steve, first let me apologize for an off-the-cuff comment I made last Wednesday when at the very end of the program with Gary when he asked me something about muscle, right? You know how we just make our comments, right? I made a comment about muscle, right? And so let me apologize first for those who I would have offended about that. But I was going to say this. I was going to say just now also another off-the-cuff comment. My mouth dropped, but everything else may have raised. But I got one of these videos that purportedly came from that site. I say, my God. Oh, they don't ask me to send it for you because I
have it. I have it.
It's against the law.
Okay. Yeah, I have it.
No, but in all seriousness, if somebody could be murdered because of that, because apparently they're saying that because of the release of some one of those tapes, someone got upset, she was under threat, she had actually reported it. You understand? So that's the angle the police are taking in terms of this murder. But if this woman was murdered because of
that is absolutely crazy.
Crazy is not the word. Crazy is not the word.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know.
The theory is that police are supposed to be interviewing several people who allegedly starred in these adult videos in relation to the murder, which took place sadly. Is it Monday or Tuesday?
Tuesday, I think. I'm not sure.
Wednesday, sorry. It was Wednesday. Wednesday afternoon. I mean, this is...
She was gunned down while entering her BMW.
She's leaving work and going to enter her car. Shot in the back of her head.
Yeah.
But really, really tragic turn of events. Really shocking turn of events. SE results are out.
And it came out before midnight.
Yeah, a lot of people were posting online.
Yeah, it came out before midnight. So congratulations to all 18,117 students. Congratulations to you
guys. There were some improvements in some areas.
Yeah.
The mean mathematics score, which is the score of all the mathematics put together divided by the number of students, improved by a couple percentage points from 50.4 in 2023 to 50.7, which means it's heading in the right direction. The English arts writing score is 59, significant improvement compared to 53.4, which is a really big improvement. And but the mean English language arts score, which is a comprehension score, fell substantially to 53.4 compared to 61.6 last year. And 40, but it's still much higher than the 44.3% in 2022. But 2022, we were coming out of that isolation at home and classes online thing. So you would see significant improvements once students got back into classroom, which is a good thing.
Yes.
You know, unfortunately, the number of students scoring over 90% dropped to 1.42% compared to 2.11%, which is strange, given the other results.
Yes, yes. Because the early reports came that there was an improvement in the SCA, and then
to be fair, there's a general improvement.
Okay.
There's a general improvement. That comprehension score is the one that kind of skewed the overall improvement results. You know, but from what I'm seeing, I don't have all the data yet, but there's a general improvement, which is congratulations to all the stakeholders.
Yeah.
You know. Because at the end of the day,
congratulations to all the students in particular, because I know a lot of proud parents and grandparents are on social media as we speak.
At the end of the day, the better students will be better the country will do in the future. So good.
I haven't heard of the portal crashing, but I know it did come out before midnight. So I got a WhatsApp at 11:30 telling me one of their sons passed for their first choice. So I said, "Oh,
yeah." Let me do some polls because I know one or two people listen to us. Jennifer Strong, Marika Manswell, Denise Allison Jaikara Lane, Winford James, Jason
yes. Happy birthday to you, Winford.
Judy Finley.
Is that Dr. Winford James?
I don't know, you know. I just have the person as Winford James. I was on a flight with him the other day, you know. He was a credit union, a whole group from a credit union is going somewhere. Judy Finley, Oronde Timothy. I know Oronde listens to us. Happy birthday, Oronde. And Carlene George. They're all celebrating birthdays today. And happy birthday for those who would have celebrated yesterday. And those who will be celebrating over the weekend. Happy birthday to you. Over the weekend is Alistair Hart. Alistair Hart is tomorrow. That's Mr. Help me now. What we call him again? San Fernando.
Sunny San Fernando.
Sunny San Fernando. Alistair Hart. He is celebrating his birthday tomorrow. So happy birthday, Alistair. And of course, Sunday will be my good friend, the Deputy Mayor of Port of Spain, Abina Hartley, former President and Prime Minister A.N.R. Robinson's granddaughter, Anushka. So happy birthday in advance, Anushka. All right? Those are my birthdays.
Cricket goes to Barbados.
Yes, India massacred England yesterday.
Yeah.
Just like how South Africa massacred Afghanistan. So the final is between India and South Africa, who are, at the end of the day, I suspect are the two best teams in the tournament. India certainly is probably the best.
I'm well working this morning, but you should have put your face tight.
Good. You had a facelift? You had a facelift?
He's using dermalactives.
That app real working.
Hey, boy.
All the wrinkles going.
And you're using a facial cream called dermalactives, not so, Richard?
No.
Okay.
No.
Heineken ain't doing that.
Cabby Heineken.
No, it's called genetics.
No, that's not genetics.
Look at that.
You know what, Wendell and Paul? He has clothes clips behind his head pulling his skin back. That's it.
God be with the three of you. But it's Friday, so maybe that's what's causing me to look so fresh and young.
Fresh and young. Fresh and young.
We never talk about fresh and young, you know.
This guy think powerful, huh?
That's what?
Yeah.
You know, his mouth never moves with his words anyway, so it might be me, Richard, there.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not me.
No, the sarcasm is him. Ragoobarsingh up here, depending on them porn films, you know.
No, I saw that story that's now trending about that lady. I don't know, but you know what? I have no issue with adult entertainment. I think there's a space for that. But
I don't think any of us have an issue with it.
Yeah, so I don't know.
It's a $1 billion industry, you know.
So I don't know if that. I mean, if it is connected to a murder, I hope they catch whoever it is.
Well, yeah, because it might be somebody connected with one of the tapes, they say.
Well, that's the theory police are working on, that she was threatened because tapes leaked. And people were upset that more tapes may have leaked and all of that. But to me, I don't understand why people would be upset. It doesn't make sense to me that if you willingly see a camera and participate in filming yourself engaging in adult activity as an adult of your own free will.
Right.
So you make a decision that you are engaging in intercourse or whatever else as an adult without being forced in any way. I'm trying to put it in your favor. And then you are upset because it leaked.
I was of the same opinion. I'm of the same opinion, Paul.
When you filmed it, unless you filmed it for your private use.
No,
and people film themselves for private use.
Yeah, but there's obviously a camera moving around filming somebody.
If there are 3-4 cameras and you're engaging for pornographic purposes, and what you worry about if it leaked for that, is that the purpose of making the film?
Yeah. I would think so, especially if it's two consenting adults, regardless of of the gender of the adults. You know?
Yeah. So I never understand that. So you decide you're going to do porn commercially for whatever reason. Yeah, your choice. You're an adult, and then you're vexed because it leaked.
It has to be some other part. That's that story missing parts. It can't be because the porn leak. You know, it can't be that.
I know.
And unless there were secret cameras in the room.
Exactly. And that's why I said if people consented knowingly and of their own free will. You understand? Because sometimes people tape themselves for their own purposes, and then people want to blackmail people. We've seen cases like that where they've gone to court and people have won cases where the revenge porn thing, I think it's called.
Simmons comes to mind.
Yeah, and so, at the end of the day, but to me also, once you film yourself, there is even if you consent at the time, you have to know that there's a possibility that it can leak for whatever reason. Somebody get your computer go under fix, you forget it on the computer, it's on your phone, whatever.
You lend somebody a phone to make a call, which I did yesterday, and I see it. I started watching person.
Why is it a watching person?
No, you have to be careful when people take your phone. You never know if they'll put something. You never know if they'll put something or if they'll take something from you.
In the context of the conversation we're having, why were you worried?
You want to see my phone?
No. We've heard stories.
No, thank you. Can we open the phone line, please? Ragoobarsingh, did you see any of the debate last night?
I saw some of it. I did
you
see
feel
some.
bad for America?
I felt anxious for America.
Anxious? You're being generous.
You're being very generous.
I mean, of course, I know I like President Biden. I do. I just felt a little anxious for him last night.
I like him as a person, but I don't mean he's capable of being a cognitively in touch president.
No, I think he's a competent president. I just think last night was not his best night.
No, it wasn't.
Richie said where they asking him, they think he should step down. It reached all there.
Well, that's the dilemma that I think Democrats are going to have, because he is an older man, and you could see the age now. I mean, affecting in a way that doesn't give him his best coherent moments. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Because in some of his answers, he was mixing up names. I know he was talking about Putin, but he was mentioning Trump rather than Putin. And then he switched it around.
That might not have been a mistake. That might not have been a mistake.
But he wasn't, even though I knew the point he was making, and a lot of times he made the points validly. I felt a lot of the times it was incoherent in terms of how he was phrasing his sentences. It wasn't. You had to follow it and a little bit with some difficulty. And so the dilemma is, I think, for Democrats, even though I think President Biden is competent, but in terms of what's at stake, do you take that chance?
Yes. And especially with another 4 years down the road, you don't know how bad it's going to get, because it's me. I diagnosed it as early stages of dementia. I diagnosed it that way, and that only gets worse. There's no fix for that.
I don't even know if it's that, and I'm not even talking about down the road in 4 years. I'm talking about what's at stake in November, in terms of the direction that America takes. Because you already have repercussions from the 4 years that President Trump was in power. I mean, things like the overturning of Roe versus Wade, and you could see America. You could see America change, certain changes happening in America. I mean, of course, there's a lot of opposition to it because it's so polarized that. Because of what's at stake, I think that's the dilemma that Democrats have in what will happen in terms of their candidate in November.
Yeah.
All right, let's grab this call. Thank you for holding. Good morning.
Sorry.
Good morning, Steve.
Morning.
Good morning, Dr. Paul. Good morning.
Good morning, my dear.
Good morning, Richard.
Good morning.
So, I felt so ashamed last night watching that debate. I felt hurt. I'm not living over there, but I was feeling bad for Joe Biden, to tell you the truth. Even though Trump have his problems, I don't see Trump winning that election with his hands down. It was disgusting. And I know a part where when they asked me a question and he started closing his eyes to try to remember whatever it is, that was very pathetic for me. And I said, oh my gosh, why he doesn't just withdraw from this thing? I just hand it over to Donald Trump, because
I'll tell you, while people are very tenuous for obviously using Trump, Joe Biden is the one who came out the one less than performing well in that debate. All the attention is on his performance. Yes, they talked about Trump's lies, but the concerns about Biden's cognitive competence is what is trending on, even on the Democratic side this morning.
That's correct.
You understand? And that is what the Democrats are worried about. Biden did not perform well last night, particularly with what's at stake in the first highly televised debate.
Yeah,
he didn't seem in full competent cognitive control all the time.
Yeah. Good morning, caller.
He's being abused.
Hi, good morning.
Morning.
I just called to say thanks for the early birthday wishes.
Oh, yes.
All right, Alistair. Yeah. Have a great day tomorrow.
Have a great day tomorrow.
Yeah, happy birthday. Tomorrow is Cricket Lime by my friend. So we're having curry duck, jira pork, fish broth, beef soup, all different things. And half will be back in India, the next half. And of course, we'll be having games in between.
Nice. Sounds like a good line.
Yeah, good line.
All right, Sonny.
All right, fellas. Thanks again. I appreciate it.
All right, no problem. All right.
Have a great birthday.
All right. Paul, you got Ray Ray's message?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, check Ray Ray's message.
So the date is saying Wednesday, 26th.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. My bad. Yeah. What happened there?
No clue.
She's
having a Biden moment.
Yeah, it's started.
This morning, something went wrong with the machine. I did try to change it.
It has started.
He's having a Biden moment.
It has started. He'll start talking and can't remember how he had to finish. Last night, I watched Biden do that, boy, and he got so frustrated, he just gave up. It really was a painful sight sometimes. Eh?
Yeah, it was painful to watch him. It was actually, I think he's generally a liked person.
Yeah.
He's a liked person, but it was painful to watch him last night. Very painful to watch him.
Calls, gentlemen. Good morning.
Morning, gentlemen. Morning. Happy Friday to all.
Hey, big guy. Good morning.
Morning. Hi. I'm a Democrat at heart, okay? And yeah, Biden didn't look all that hot last night. But I can tell you one thing, I can't do nothing for Trump because of Trump's track record. It's disgusting. So I would prefer to put Biden in there. But keep something in mind. A president doesn't run America in a void by himself and make all his decisions on his own. He has aides, highly qualified aides who will say, listen, Russia doing this. What do you think? We should do. He has intelligence. He has economic advisors. So a president doesn't run a country in a void, and because he doesn't looking all that good, oh well, guess what? We can't put him there. He has aides to help him run the country. That is my take on it, and there's nothing to make me change my mind to put Trump. Nothing in his favor this is. All right, gentlemen.
All right, big guy.
That's refreshing to hear.
Good morning.
I don't know how.
Yeah, morning, Paul, Richard, Wendell.
Morning, Mr.
Elect the aide as presidential.
First thing first, congratulations to the teachers, the students, and the parents who had a team effort for the children them to be successful in the exams. To the children and them who don't make the first choice and the second choice, don't worry, there are plenty more choices to make in life. But why is it great that they make for to go in these big schools?
Sorry?
What is the grade they have to make for to go in Hillview and Presentation College and Fatima and 85%?
Mr. Patrick, and you know about the what's the accord called again?
The Concordat?
Yeah, the Concordat. And you know about that? That has nothing to do with grades, really, you know.
Well, no, it does. While the principals have certain numbers of students that they can put on the list. The others who go to the school are because of the grades.
No, but I know that. That's so that I wasn't talking about outside of the Concordat. You know, outside of the Concordat, you need the required grades.
Yeah, I know some children who never make the grade they went because of the religious affiliation to the schools.
Yeah, that's and it's allowed. It's allowed. So you can't argue that. I don't know why people do this every year after SCA.
Yeah. Thanks, Mr. Patrick.
All
right.
Is it 20%? I think it's 20% may allow.
20%.
Yes. 20%, yeah.
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Hello.
Yes, morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning. I'm enjoying the conversation, but I'm not sure if we are taking into consideration in August, the Democrats are having an open convention where another candidate can possibly emerge. So I'm not sure, but despite his performance, the polling is still within a margin of error, they're saying. So I don't know what may happen in August. So
what did you think of his performance?
I beg your pardon?
What did you think of President Biden's performance?
Well, honestly, I felt it for him. I expected it anyway. I really did expect it.
You see the general sentiment, right?
Right, and I really felt sorry for him. But we as Democrats, we are hoping something can happen in August at the Open Convention, and that's where again I will mention. That's where again I will mention Hillary Clinton or Michelle Obama. These are the only two candidates I can see.
I think Hillary Clinton is over.
Yeah.
And Michelle Obama, emphatically, she's not interested.
You think so?
Was that, sorry?
You think Hillary Clinton days are over?
Yep.
I don't think so. But anyway, let's go and see August at the Open Convention.
All right.
I think it's August the 15th. Take care.
All right.
Thank you so much. Have they scheduled any other debates?
They usually have about 3 or 4.
Yeah, they have about 3 or 4.
Because I was reading a comment here that what Steph said, Trump may ride this wave and refuse any other debate. You think that could happen?
No, that's not Trump's personality.
Yeah, I think so too. I think he wants to abuse Biden some more.
It's like your debate earlier in the week here.
Oh, God.
Good morning, caller.
You're really going back there, but I was trying to avoid going there.
Obama.
We need to get the callers, Edmund. We can't open the lines. Good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
Yes, mi amor.
Morning. Listen to me. And good morning to all who locked on and at home and abroad. CJ, good morning. CJ called to let us know when the debate started. But I wanted to tell her that I was going out. So it's last night I listened to it. Well, my God, I was happy after. I couldn't listen to everything, but later on I listened to MSNBC, and thank God for the vice president. They got her for 10 minutes. She made some sense. But Lord, a country who's supposed to be the big, bad grandfather of the world, that is the best they could do?
They put
Man,
two grandfathers there last night.
Pardon me?
I said they put two grandfathers there, so they are the grandfather.
Yeah, but what I'm saying of all the men and women, intelligent men and women in America, nobody else could run in for those.
But it's not that it's the system through which they get there is what gets them those choices.
Oh, Jesus, Father, no man, something wrong. Well, they have to change that system. Knowing what we listen to, what we hear, what going in the courts with Trump, and I mean, he still could be a candidate. You imagine this? But Mr. Biden, he was totally out of it. According to one of you asking if he knew where he was. Oh God, I don't know. No, he can't go to another debate. Maybe they might have to send the vice president.
To be fair, people, Obama's first debate wasn't great either, but it wasn't like that. But it wasn't, and then Obama changed the wave. So the people perform differently on different debates based on what their postmortems produce and how they prepare them. But I don't know how much more you could prepare Biden because he knew it was a high stakes event.
Because this is it. Well, you have it right. You're quite right. I don't know if that could get better because apparently.
They must have given it before last night.
Pardon me?
They must have given it before last night.
He looked sedated in the beginning. Huh? He looked sedated.
No. That they have to do better than that. They have to come better. There's no one there I see. None out of the two is fit for president. No.
All right. Thanks, Tina.
Okay.
All right.
Anthony Franco.
I just have the Guardian.
6:44. Let's roll. Where's my express?
Roll.
All right. It's Friday, the 28th of June, 2024. Let's start with the Express Online. A flagrant violation and gross disrespect to the struggle of workers as well as the administration of justice. This is how PSA President Leroy Batiste described Finance Minister Colm Imber's letter to workers of the Inland Revenue Division and Customs and Excise Division. That ongoing imbroglio. Complaint of Rise garbage snub. What?
Rise.
Gonas Mayor Faik Mohammed said last night he was unaware of an allegation that the garbage at the residence of Kamutu Mantadula MP Dr. Rai Ragoobarsingh had not been collected.
Oh God, don't tell me they reach all there. UNC not picking up Dr. Ragoobarsingh garbage.
An apparent clerical error in the wording of an order of the appeal court earlier this month has led to uncertainty on whether or not the government is allowed to proceed with the implementation of the Trinidad and Tobago Revenue Authority. Cops probe sex link. Police have viewed explicit sex videos as they investigate the murder of nurse and beauty pageant contestant Sadna Gangu. At least one of the videos, which had been circulating on social media, shows 2 women and 2 men. One of the women believed to be Gangu. Gangu was 44, was murdered earlier this week, and had told work colleagues, relatives that people wanted to kill her. Murder at Harmony Hall and Positivity Avenue, 2 killed in Sandu. And PM slams investment naysayers. Go ahead, please, Richard.
What, Paul, just quickly, what does that just say about Dr. Rai Ragoobarsingh garbage not being picked up?
Yeah. And there's an allegation that his garbage was not collected at his residence.
Nah, man, they can't stoop so low.
That's the height of stupidity. If
it is being denied.
Yeah, if that's real, that is the height of stupidity.
You're right.
are even worse than the debate.
Yes.
Anyway, the Trinidad and Tobago Guardian this morning, of course, today is Friday, June the 28th. We're close to the end of June. The main headline, TTRA clash. That's the headline that the Guardian went with. Columns transfer letter to BIR and customs workers upsets PSA. And there is a picture of PSA President Leroy Batiste and a picture of Finance Minister Com Imber. Tobago gets first female finance secretary. Ministry records slight decline in SEA scores. And the main picture is that of St. Hilda's government primary school pupils celebrate after receiving their certificates during their graduation ceremony at the Belmont Community Center in Port of Spain yesterday. So it's a very joyous picture. Now moving on to the back page, of course, which is the sports section. The main story there is India crushes champs England. South Africa and India to play for ICC trophy. And the main picture is that of India's captain Rohit Sharma as he's bowled out by England's Adil Rashid during the ICC Men's T20 World Cup second semi-final cricket match between England and India at the Guyana National Stadium in Providence, Guyana. Sharma scored 57 runs. So that's it for the front and the back page of the TNT Guardian.
Let's move to the news day now. Ministry says remedial program bearing fruit after small decline in SEA performance. Thieves rob watchman after trying to smash Labray ATM. Cops probe Princestown nurse murder. Gopi Skoon, Jindal may bring foreign investment to Trinidad and Tobago. Martin Daly Senior Counsel Law Association's participation in choosing silk and error in judgment. Taradale man gunned down, deadly bar brawl in San Fernando. PSA upset as finance minister begins staffing at TTRA. And no charges yet in Baby Zavi's death. So those are trending stories. I'm looking at the front, some of the news outlets this morning, and a couple of them are, well, CBS, CNN, and ABC are saying the Democrats are concerned about Joe Biden's performance and actually considering whether or not someone else should be, a process should be started to nominate someone else because of how bad they assess his performance.
That was trending almost immediately after the debate this morning. I saw
he's the one who came out in that debate. I mean, people don't like Trump for obvious. Some people don't like Trump, obviously, because the Republicans do. But Joe Biden came out with the overall big concern in that debate.
Yes.
As to whether or not he's competent enough to run for another 4 years.
There are many Republicans that don't like Trump.
But they're going to vote for him, though.
No, not necessarily. There are many who said that they are not going to.
Well, I hope not.
Republicans or Democrats, Richard?
Republicans.
He's right. Some Republicans
the moderate Republicans that don't like him as a choice.
All right.
As you all talk about,
is that all the headlines, gentlemen?
Steve, just 1 second. Let me just say, thanks to the people who reached out to me after that interview on Wednesday, in particular, Kathy Ann Townsend and Captain Ron, who both called me after that since Wednesday. All right. So thank you for those who gave their support.
All right. Well, let's get the results for our morning
poll.
Paul,
Dr. Paul, too.
Yesterday, we asked you, should all political leaders be polygraphed as suggested by Gary Griffith? That was our poll yesterday. Results are in. 88%. 88 said yes. All right, let's get this morning poll.
I'm seeing Richard Phillips suggesting a poll there.
Okay, Phillips. Mm-hmm.
All right, yeah. So we could try that. Wouldn't that be a debate? Oh, Lord. I was advised. All night I would hear I was advised.
I don't know why we do have debates here.
They usually, what's the word, obfuscate on who is going to moderate it, and they're not comfortable with this moderator and that moderator.
That's the problem right there.
That's usually the big excuse they give.
As the excuse.
They should let Richard can do it. I would recommend Richard Ragoobarsingh.
All right. Poll question for today. Should there be a national debate between Dr. Keith Rowley and Mrs. Kamala Bissessa leading to the 2025 general elections.
That's our poll, folks. If you didn't see the Trump-Biden debate, you need to watch it.
Yeah, you certainly need to.
It is the head of the free world, you know, at stake here. And this one is the head of the Caribbean.
All right. Should there be a debate, a national debate, between Dr. Rowley and Mrs. Bissessa leading to the 2025 general election? Vote via Facebook, YouTube, WhatsApp at 3181021, or you can give us a call at 222-8255. North Americans toll free 866-525-1099. All right.
Richard, are you writing?
Already? I don't know.
Yeah, I am writing. Something happened. That's hard to come out and boot back in.
No problem. So John Cato says yes. Slick Money Grip, yes. CJ from New York, yes. Josie Richardson,
one piece of debate.
Yes. Evans David, yes. Ian Lee, hell no. Gregory Bauer, yes. Mrs. R, yes. Reynold Jeffrey, yes. Rita Boudou Jennings, yes. Miss Ingrid in Tucson, Arizona, yes. Richard Phillip, yes. Let's go WhatsApp. Blessed morning to all. You need to put your name, CMJ. Val, big no. Thank you, Val. Please put your name next to your answer. Kazim, yes. Captain Ron, yes. Kenwin, yes. Eddie out in Staten Island, New York, yes. Where did I leave off here now? Miss Ingrid, Richard Phillip, Carol Guevara, absolutely. Julia S. Batiste, yes. Michael Robinson, yes. What says you, caller?
Good morning, St. Mary's Maruga said yes.
All right, thank you, St. Mary's Maruga. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes.
Thank you.
Somebody too yellow.
Let's see. The Cara, my beauty culture. Kenny and Harlem, yes. Jess Archer Kennedy, yes. DL, hell, yes. Keegan Barrett, yes. Lenny James, yes.
You know, I sitting down here and I only thinking about what will be said in that debate.
Paulette out in New York. Good morning, Paulette. Thank you so much for joining us on the Power Breakfast Show. Yes. Andre Reno. Yes. DL. Yeah, yes.
You said DL already, you know.
I did. Okay. Oh, I had a bad moment.
Hector, no.
Hector, yes. All right, get those votes going. Should there be a national debate between Dr. Rowley, Mrs. Bissessa for the next general elections? Not only one, but at least three.
They will only agree to one if they agree to.
If they agree, yeah.
One of the solutions they had suggested was that a panel of each of them choose a journalist that they want, and the media association choose the third one.
Oh shoot! Okay.
Just use Richard. Richard is the only person in the media who really have no thing and don't give a hoots about either one of them. Not you. They call you. They call you Eat a Food PNM, and they call you UNC already.
Every week there's probably something different.
Not you. They just attack you, not you.
Right. I'll get about 5 people that week.
Go ahead and see if there are any more votes, Wendell and Richard.
They're not saying you is more PNM than me. How can a voice note saying that, you know?
I know. I thank WhatsApp, yes, for those buttons. There's give you option buttons.
Oh Lord, I think I need to start using it, to block some people.
It's a wonderful thing. Those option buttons are not up.
We have a call. Good morning.
Good morning again. Only like my canal. Just because I know who going to lick up who, I say yes.
We know that, Zina.
Yeah, we already wrote you in, Zina.
And you like lick up.
It's the only bias Richard has. When you call in, you know exactly what to put on.
No, this kind of poll, you're not sure.
You feel Zina don't know who going to lick up who? So that's why she will vote yes.
All right.
So Steve, check your WhatsApp for the 2 clips in the news.
Yes, I'm coming by you.
Yeah, should there be a national debate between Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley and Mrs. Kamala Persad-Processor, Senior Counsel, leading to the 2025 general election? That's our poll this morning. Yep. So are any additional votes coming through in the comment section, Wendell?
Alistair Hart says yes. Marcia Rock says yes. Vianney Warwood said, you all know Kamala will never agree. Okay, well, that's not a vote, Vianney. And Mrs. R didn't, well, she voted already.
Okay. Yeah. We haven't seemed to be able to accomplish that at all, even though other countries in the Caribbean have. I know Jamaica does it. I think Barbados did it. I'm not sure. I think they did. I think Ghana does it too. So of the major Caribbean English-speaking islands, Trinidad and Tobago has never been able to accomplish that. I don't think either party is anxious to do it, really.
Yeah. Jean Clark Richard says yes. Beauty Culture says yes. And Anon001 says yes. No scripts allowed for the event. What scripts?
On WhatsApp, we have Kurt saying yes, Anne-Marie saying no. Gloria Charles, no, I don't know. Bobby, morning Bob, says yes. I think Gloria Charles Panton is saying yes. Gloria, don't send any stickers. I can't load up the stickers because I have it's one computer using and it takes forever. So I did Kurt, I did Anne-Marie.
My child is spoiling me this week. See what I got.
You know what? Gentleman, Paul bought me a PPP yesterday. Thank you, Paul. It was delicious. All right, the last answers you have before I go to news is from who?
Wayne Ramsey, yes, and Morgan says yes.
Okay, wonderful. And Roger Seawing from QREP also says yes.
I remember I was involved in vigorous negotiations many years ago to have it, and we got very, very close to it. And then somebody pulled out.
All right.
I wonder who.
All right, let's get into our 7 o'clock news with Dr. Paul Richard.
This is your news bulletin from Power 102 Digital.
It is Friday, the 28th of June, 2024. This is news to 7 a.m. on News Power Digital. We start with the headlines. Police are working on a theory that registered nurse Sadna Gangu led a double life, allegedly also as a producer of adult pornographic videos. The Met Service is monitoring a low-pressure system, but it poses no threat to TNT. The Education Ministry gives its analysis of the SEA results 2024. And the Trump campaign has declared victory, while Joe Biden, the U.S. president, brushed off concerns in their first debate matchup between the president and former president on CNN in Atlanta last night. We have details coming up next. This is news to 7 a.m. right here on News Power. Digital newscast is compiled by Dennis James. Good morning. Here's our top story. Police are working on the theory that Miss India Worldwide pageant contestant and registered nurse Sadna Gangu led a double life, allegedly working both as a nurse at the Princestown District Health Facility and allegedly as a producer of adult pornographic videos. They suspect this secret profession could have had a connection to her murder earlier this week. Yesterday, police revealed that Gangu's murder investigation had taken a shocking turn, as several people starring in the adult videos were expected to be questioned in relation to the case. Gangu, 44, a mother of one and grandmother of two, was brutally gunned down around 4:30 p.m. outside the Princesstown District Health Facility on Wednesday as she walked to her parked car on Circular Road. She suffered a fatal bullet wound to the back of the head. The shooter remains at large, having escaped in a waiting Nissan Tiida along the Napari Mayara Road. A police source disclosed Gangu had been secretly involved in producing explicit content featuring multiple men and women over the past few years. One of these videos shared online, the official said, could provide answers about her murder. The state's application to petition the Privy Council regarding a Court of Appeal ruling delivered in favor of Auditor General Jaywanti Ramdas last Friday will take place later today. At Friday today, 9 a.m., the court will consider whether or not it will be granting permission to Finance Minister Colin Imber and the Cabinet to take its legal fight against Ramdas to the Privy Council. On Tuesday, the appeal court delivered its full written ruling on the procedural appeal brought by Ramdas regarding the appointment of an investigative team to probe an understatement of between $2.6 and $3.4 billion in her report on the country's 2023 public financial records. The Trinidad and Tobago Meteorological Service is monitoring an area of low pressure, AL95, near the central tropical Atlantic and east of the southern Windward Islands. The Met Office says the system poses no direct threat to Trinidad and Tobago. It said the system is currently producing disorganized showers and thunderstorms, but environmental conditions are expected to be conducive to the development over the next few days, and the service will continue to monitor the system. SCA results 2024 are out, and the Ministry of Education reveals that in 2024, the mean mathematics score in the SCA is 50.7 compared to 50.4 in 2023. Additionally, the mean English language arts writing score is 59 compared to 53.4 in 23. And the mean English language arts score is 53.4 compared to 61.6 in 2023. A total of 18,177 students wrote SCA this year, of which 9,127 were male and 9,050 were female. The mean scores in 2024 when compared to 2023 and 2022 shows a general encouraging trend regarding student performance. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Education says it continues to monitor student performance and provide remedial education program to 80 primary schools of focus. The program includes initiatives including the after-school support education program, assigned of dedicated school social workers, guidance officers, special ed officers, and learning support assistants. In 50% of the 80 primary schools of focus, there has been an increase in the average weighted score of the students. Catalan Roberts is appointed as a councillor of the Tobago House of Assembly. THA Chief Secretary Fali Augustine made the announcement in the Assembly during Thursday's draft budget debate. Councillor Roberts is expected to be sworn in as Secretary of Finance, Trade and the Economy today, Friday, June 28th. This will make Mrs. Roberts the first ever female Secretary of Finance in the Assembly. Roberts replaces Sitika Williams-Orr in the Assembly.
Before the revocation of her appointment at 11:59 p.m. last night, Mrs. Williams had already set in train similar regularization activities that will be completed in fiscal 2025, namely for the divisions of community development, youth development and sport, tourism, culture, antiquities and transportation, and infrastructure, quarries and urban development.
Mrs. Roberts is a chartered certified professional accountant with 15 years of dedicated experience in the THA's public service. She previously served in the capacity of senior financial analyst and chief management accountant under the Division of Finance, 8 years, and office of the chief secretary, 7 years respectively. With a comprehensive background in financial management and strategic planning, Mrs. Roberts has consistently demonstrated her expertise and leadership at various high-level roles. The Penal Bay Regional Corporation confirms additional spraying and fogging is being done to curb the situation amid an increase in dengue cases in parts of South Trinidad. The corporation explains it has revised and increased its fogging schedule to ensure everything is done to curb the number of cases and decrease the chances of persons being infected by the disease. The corporation, however, says it's noted despite their exercises, more assistance is required, particularly from the Ministry of Health's Insect Vector Division. In sports, South Africa and India will play in Saturday's final of the ICC T20 World Cup at Kensington Oval in Barbados. India defeated the defending champs England by 68 runs at Providence Ground, Guyana yesterday, Thursday. Set 172 runs to win. England were all out in 103 from 16.4 overs, with Brooke leading the way with 25 runs and man of the match Patel and Yadav taking 3 wickets each, and Burma 2. Earlier in they made 171 for 7 from their allotted 20 overs, with opener Rohit Sharma leading the way with 57 runs. In news of the region, flights in Barbados were being diverted and departures were delayed after a private aircraft encountered difficulties while landing at the Grantley Adams International Airport yesterday morning. At approximately 10:40 a.m., a private craft with registration number N42821 experienced a landing gear malfunction upon arrival and approach to the airport. The aircraft was inbound from St. Lucia. The runway was closed for inspection by the Civil Aviation Authority and the Barbados Police Service. Further afield up north in the U.S., President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump levied personal attacks against each other as they sparred over the economy, immigration, and more at CNN's debate in Atlanta, their first showdown of the 2024 election cycle. Some Democratic officials are raising alarm over Biden's shaky performance as Trump went on the defensive and steamrolled through multiple falsehoods, which were identified during the debate. Trump campaign declared victory while Biden brushed off concerns. In the first debate matchup between the president and former president, Biden turned in what was described as a lackluster performance that had some Democrats wondering if concerns about his age may have been validated. And finally, the BBC is reporting British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak has refused to say whether or not he told his parliamentary aide Craig Williams about the date of the UK's general elections now set for July 4th. The Conservatives withdrew support for Mr. Williams as a candidate on Tuesday after he admitted placing a bet on the election date. He's denied committing any offense. Earlier, the Metropolitan Police disclosed the number of his officers under investigation over bets on the timing and date of the election had risen from 6 to at least 7 persons under investigation. To end our 7 a.m. newscast, here are the headlines once again. Police are working on the theory that registered nurse Sadnat Gangu led a double life, allegedly as the producer of adult pornographic videos. The state's application to petition the Privy Council regarding an appeal court ruling delivered in favor of the Auditor General will take place at 9 this morning. The Education Ministry has given an analysis of the SCA results 2024. South Africa and India will meet in Saturday's World Cup T20 final in Kensington Oval in Barbados. And the Trump campaign has declared victory while Joe Biden, the U.S. president, brushed off concerns in their first debate matchup between the president and former president in Atlanta last night. That is news to 7 a.m. right here on News Power Digital. We'll have headlines coming up at 8 a.m. with major news once again at 12 noon.
Up to date and credible. Power 102 Digital.
All right. Thank you so much, Paul, for our major news. You can join me again at 8 o'clock this morning for our news brief. All right. Quickly, 28 degrees at Piarco International Airport with some light rain showers. 27 and showers in the vicinity at Crown Point in Tobago. What is the Met Office saying our weather is going to be like for today? I'll tell you right now. They're saying hot and sunny conditions will be interrupted by partly cloudy spells with a light to moderate shower over varying localities. There is a 40% medium chance of isolated heavy showers and thunderstorms favoring the afternoon. This evening will be fair. All right. Yeah, they didn't say anything about Sahara. There's 33 the high, 32 at Crown Point. All right, gentlemen. Quickly, let's
take some more votes. We had David
West. I'm now pulling it up here.
Yeah, start from David West.
Hold on, checking WhatsApp here first. Nothing on WhatsApp. David West says yes. Precious.
Ambrose Blah says yes. Oscar Daniel says yes.
You got Beauty Culture?
Yes, I got Beauty Culture.
Jean Clark, Arno, Wayne Ramsey said yes. Mo Gaines, yes. David West, yes. Precious, good morning. CJ, Beauty Culture, Ambrose Blah said yes. Oscar Daniel, yes. Ewart Rajpal, you didn't vote Ewart. All right. All right, let's get the results.
Well, I have 46 people voting on the poll this morning.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, the poll was whether you think there should be a debate between Dr. Rowley and Kamala Prasad, the Senior Counsel, on the 2025 general election, leading to the 2025 general election. We had 46 people voting on the poll this morning. And of the 46 people, 43 of you said yes, there should be a national debate between Dr. Rowley and Mrs. Kamala Prasad, and 3 of you said no. So the vast majority are in fact in favor of a debate taking place between the 2 main parties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's sad that we haven't gotten to the stage where we can have a national debate between persons vying, and not only them, persons vying for in the election. They can have debates between the smaller parties. Remember, we hosted the local government thing where we had people.
Yeah.
Is it last year?
Yeah. Yes.
We had quite a few people on, and it's sad that we haven't gotten to the stage where these significant parties have not been able to stand up and against each other and talk about the issues and debate the issues.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I agree.
I don't think I wonder if it'll have any effect on the election itself, but it's an opportunity for the public to see where they stand on particular issues and how they manage that delivery of the answers without,
I want to believe and all of that. Yeah, I want to believe the strategies of both parties in the absence of that debate has been those conversations with the Prime Minister 1 and the Monday Night Forum 2. I believe that was how they thought.
But that's home court advantage. You have your faithful in front of you.
Agreed. Yeah, let me just, before we get into Edie Stewart, let me wish Alden Williams happy early birthday. His birthday is tomorrow. He's an ardent fan of the Power Breakfast Show. So happy early birthday to Alden Williams. All right?
Okay, happy birthday.
So we have Edie Stewart there already, guys.
Yep. Morning to you, Edie Stewart. How are you?
Pleasant good morning to the team. Thanks for having me.
All right. President of the Nurses Association of Trinidad and Tobago.
Is Edie still president?
Yes, I'm still president.
Where is Ronnie, man?
No, I don't know. Edie has been not in the news too much since the issue during COVID. So I thought maybe, Edie, how long have you been president of the Nurses Association?
From October 2016 to present until October 2026.
So are elections held for this position or what?
Yes, elections are held every.
What do you mind question your legitimacy, so?
No, well, we do it with everybody. Everybody who, especially when people in office so long, it's 8 years we talking, So either had to be doing something right or they are having no elections.
So the PNM not in office too long either.
Hello, there's have elections there. Don't get tired.
The man you're to defend your legitimacy and present for your association.
You making it sound like when you're there too long, something wrong.
Something wrong. I suppose something right.
Edie, you are comforted this morning. You have a lot of attorneys representing you.
Good morning, Edie. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Yes.
Well, I'm sure you would have been following the town hall meetings with the JSC Social Services and the response from the Ministry of Health officials, including the PS, the CMO, etc., which was held on Wednesday. And in particular, a lot of attention was placed at one time on the issue of patient to nurse ratio. And a question was directly asked about it because there were concerns raised from the public about the kind of care they were getting at various RHAs. And direct questions were asked about if we have comparable nurse to patient ratios Of course, we never got a direct answer. The overall answer was no, because there was an attrition of nurses, which we have said over and over, because other jurisdictions, as we not well know, are attracting our nursing staff because a lot of reasons. And they're supposed to provide in writing what the actual nurse to patient ratio, and the CMO did disaggregate ICU from general wards, etc. What is your response to what you heard there?
Well, firstly, the association takes no pleasure in saying that we were right. And this is actually the first admission from ministry officials that we don't have enough nursing personnel. Prior to this, you would have heard the Minister of Health repeatedly saying, rubbishing the claims of the association. But the technocrats within the ministry very well know that what we were putting out in the public is true and correct. And the regional health authorities also, being placed on the spot, also had to admit that they do not have the required number of nursing personnel, specialist nursing personnel, and also general nursing personnel. We just do not have the numbers. And if they had only countered or say otherwise, that we do have the amount of nursing personnel we ought to have, then the association would have used that against them to mandate that they follow international best practice in terms of patient to nurse ratio. So they could not have said otherwise. The RHAs are struggling as we speak. In fact, the ERHA, almost every other month, they are putting out ads for nursing personnel, and so too the other regional health authorities. We are struggling just to maintain the existing health facilities, and it will only get worse as we bring on more and more of these new hospitals. It is an impossible task to properly staff all of those hospitals. Right now, actually just last night, I was contacted by nurses of Roxborough Health Facility, where the authorities wants to make the service 24/7, the accident and emergency department 24/7. And the nurses are asking how in the world they're going to run a 24-hour shift with the limited number of nursing personnel, barely enough to manage 2 shifts, the morning and evening shift. Now they want to have 3 shifts. So you have to split those staff now in 3 to try to accomplish that. It's an impossible task. And it's only, and it is not the association saying that the more patients you give a nurse above the recommended standard, you're going to have a decrease in quality of care. It's not the association saying that. That is the literature. That is the internationally accepted literature. There's no research countering that. The more nurses you give above, for instance, in the medical ward, medical surgical ward, if the acceptable standards is 1 to 4, 1 to 5, from the time you go to 1 to 6, you are compromising care across all 6 patients, not just the 1 patient you have add-on. You are compromising the care across all 6 patients. When you go to 1 to 7, you are further compromising. We have statistics in Trinidad where we are 1 to 20.
So tell me something,
1
Edie.
to 20.
So tell me something. This obviously is a problem that has been gestating for a while now in terms of the migration of nurses, going to greener pastures. I mean, it's a conversation we've had here before on the Power Breakfast Show. What is the fix to this? Is there a fix, first of all? And what is that fix? Is it that we have to get nurses from other countries to come in? Or is it that we have to have better remuneration and better terms and conditions for nurses in Trinidad to help them make the decision to stay, in addition to which to attract other people to get into the field? What exactly would be the fix?
Well, the first fix, we need a strong leader in healthcare. Currently, unfortunately, there's no such person within healthcare in the policy-making realm that can take the tough decisions. Unfortunately, we don't have that.
Is that your way of saying? Is that your way of saying the Minister of Health is not a strong leader?
Or is it directed to the Minister of Health? Was that comment directed to the Minister of Health?
But you make a statement that you need strong leadership in the health sector. Who is leading the health sector? The Minister of Health.
You said in reference to policy. So was that directed to the Minister of Health?
So,
okay, let's say so.
I reserve comment, but I don't want to miss the point. My point is we need strong leadership, someone who can reorganize the health sector into what was envisioned since 1994. We would have pumped a lot of money in health sector reform. We have not implemented the policies and the structures to make it work. And unfortunately, we are at a place which leaves a lot to be desired. So for instance, I actually just did a presentation at UTT and showed where we have more junior doctors than we need. And we still continue to train doctors above and beyond the requirements we need. Even the very Ministry of Health, the Minister of Health, alluded to the fact that it is difficult to find spaces for all these junior doctors. And that is why they are on these crazy contracts right now, locum. So they're working day to day. If they stay home one day, they don't have sick leave and all of those crazy things because they are way beyond. There's only one country in the OECD region, one country that has more doctors per 10,000 population than Trinidad and Tobago. Only one country. That is to tell you, we are way beyond the Latin and American Caribbean average, and we are way beyond the OECD countries. There's one country out of all the countries that we have not yet exceeded. Is that judicious use of resources? When on the flip side, we are nowhere close to the number of nursing personnel we ought to have. What a
But Edie, you're kind of answering the question in a kind of deflective way, because even though that may be an issue, the junior doctors ratio may be an issue, the question was really directed as to what is the fix. Now, you mentioned 1994 and the attempt to reform the health sector, and that they should keep to what 1994 document would have said, whatever the plan was. So I want you to get a little granular as to what are the main problems, why, one, nurses are migrating. Of course, obviously, there's a nursing shortage. I don't want to say around the planet, but maybe there is one around the planet, because you have these developed countries that want nurses and are getting them from other countries like ours. What do we need to do to make the nursing profession more attractive for our nationals to, one, stay, and two, to be attracted to the profession? The junior doctors may be an issue, and that is an issue of money and resources going towards that. But I want the granular details of the nursing issue.
Well, the issues that affect nursing personnel have been well documented in numerous commissions of inquiry. So I will begin by saying the first thing that must be done is to reallocate resources into training nursing and midwifery personnel. Currently, there are 3 nursing schools, 3 registered and accredited nursing schools, there was a fourth Ministry of Education nursing school, which the association actually took legal action to close down, and was successful because it was operating illegally. So now there we are down to 3. Of those 3 nursing schools, 1 nursing school receives a stipend. A stipend is something international that nursing students receive to attract people into the profession, because the end salary is not that attractive. So you encourage people to come in who may have otherwise gone into other professions. So for instance, you could go into pharmacy, medicine, what have you, because your salary would be a little higher at the end of the day. You could go into law, your salary will be higher. The nursing salary is not that high. So you attract them in and you give them the stipend. Sadly, the government, in their wisdom, do not see the need to pay nursing stipend to those other 2 nursing schools. So as I do a little teaching, as I said, those students, the attrition rate out of the school is high, because those students have to juggle between doing night shift work in KFC, in the groceries, in different places to sustain themselves while they go to nursing school. Because
let me ask you something, because I've heard this, because I have friends who went through the system in Trinidad and Tobago, and it has gotten to the point now where people who are interested in nursing make conscious decisions to sacrifice, be trained here, not with a view of even staying here. They know that the demand is so high internationally for nurses who are trained here that they do their sacrifice. They know they don't get the stipend. They get into the system, they do the training, they do 3 to 4 years here, and while they're doing it 3 to 4 years actual in services like training, while they're making overtures to be poached. It's like a well-known process in nursing fraternity now, because you also get to work, to live and work in a so-called first world country. You get to work and practice in what they consider a superior environment and upgrade your skills. That's something that we're actually facing as a country as a definite process. So the attrition rate is always going to be high.
Again, you are correct. As you indicated, we are seeing persons, they have no intention working locally. They don't even care about the bonding system right now. So from the minute they graduate, because the shortage is so severe abroad, they no longer require you to have any years of service locally. Once you have your qualification now, they are taking you. Before, they used to ask for 3-5 years. Now they don't even want that. Most they might ask for is a year. That is the most. I'm not seeing the recruiting agencies asking for anything more than a year. Some of them, no experience needed. They would give you the experience when you reach up there. They will put you in a lower band and allow you to get your experience up there while you hone your skills. And the thing is, the shortage again is so severe, and because they have standards, you must understand the reason why they are coming in such numbers. Both the agencies and the authorities themselves, NHS themselves, is coming to Trinidad to recruit people.
Does the Nursing Association have actual numbers of nurses leaving annually?
No, we don't have that. We have in data that we would have gathered informally. So we would have requested via the Freedom of Information Act the number of nursing personnel who would have attrition out of the RHAs over a 3-year period.
How much is that? And what 3-year period is that?
Sorry?
How much is that, and what 3-year period is that you're talking about?
It was over the COVID period. It was between 2020, 2021, 2022. We would have gotten that information and we would have published it on our social media site, and we would have showed where Northwest Regional Health Authority lost in excess of 200 plus nurses over that period. They were actually one of the highest. So it was when the CEO of Northwest.
That is a lot.
If you could just quickly explain that particular period, because no one was allowed to leave the country during that period. So where would they have gone?
No, the persons were allowed to leave. A number of persons had already gotten through with those international organizations. You just had to apply for exemption and you could have left the shores. But what we try to disaggregate, we ask the authorities to disaggregate out of that number you are saying have left the authority, how much left due to normal retirement, how much left for moving into another RHA, because we do have transfers from time to time, how many left due to attrition,
you mean going abroad?
Yes, right. How much left to go abroad? Unfortunately, they were not in a position to, they had a number of unknowns. And one would have thought a RHA facing that, and the CEO I saw was one of the persons being interviewed. One would have done that analysis to see the reasons why people are leaving before retirement age. What was the reason? So all we have is, we do have some data, but we know 200 plus persons left. And less persons were hired. That is the critical thing. So we already had a shortage, for instance, in Northwest, where we don't have the required number of nursing personnel to operate all of the facilities. Then you have a situation between 2020 and 2022, you had 200 plus persons leaving and only 100 plus persons being hired. So the situation is getting worse in each RHA, because in each RHA we saw that. And the only RHAs that had more or less close to a balance was the two smaller RHAs, not ERHA and TRHA. And really and truly, ERHA do not see that mass migration from ERHA. Persons are leaving, but nowhere close to what you are seeing in the three other RHAs, Southwest, NCRHA, and Northwest. ERHA is a unique creature, and I must say condolences to the past CEO, Mr. Sawyer Fat. He really cultured a nature of more of a family spirit up at ERHA. With the TRHA, so persons generally are comfortable. Not everything is okay, but persons get that sense that the administration has their best interests at heart. Again, not everything is all well and good. In TRHA, we realized that they had to hire a number of persons to open the Roxborough facility. So that was the reason why their numbers were kind of stabilized. It's not that they were trying to maintain their staffing establishment, but they were forced to hire a number of persons to open Roxborough.
So Edie, based on what you just said then, right? Assuming that what you just said is accurate, you just pointed out to a management style and a person associated to how an agency is run. So how, because earlier on you had said that it was at the ministerial level with the policy. And now you're saying that the difference in the ERHA and TRHA is because of the management style. And I knew Mr. Ronald Surfer. He really was a gem of a gentleman. You understand? So is that the problem? What is the problem then in the other RHAs?
Well, this is what I'm saying. I never said the ministry only, because we need strong leadership, yes, at the ministry, but also at the RHAs. So that's why I didn't limit it to the Minister of Health. But that is an issue also. So, and we do not have that, and that was really one of the pillars, as it were, governance, that was highlighted to be corrected during health sector reform, how you govern these authorities. Because if you are saying you are decentralizing to make it, allow the management of the RHAs to take a more hands-on approach, to get closer to the staff, to make it more personable, then it did not transpire out of these 3 larger RHAs. They have not been able to garner that. And with Tobago, it's a next kettle of fish, because they always change CEO. Every 2 years or 6 months, they always change in CEO. So there's no way a CEO in Tobago could garner that support for the organization to build that camaraderie, because they never seem to be stable, unlike some of the other RHAs. Now, to be fair, in NWRHA, the new CEO, Major Anthony Blake, is doing a wonderful job in trying to engender that spirit. So he has brought back Sports Day, and subtle things like these generally bring staff together, as opposed to staff just seeing it just as another job and having no loyalty to the organization. And it bears, for example, with the security officers that work within these RHAs, they have no loyalty to the organization.
Well, yes, I get the issue of loyalty is something that we could talk about in principle. But at the end of the day, people want to be able to take care of their families at a particular level. And when you have colleagues who train with you, call you from when they are in North America and UK and Australia, and explain to you the standard of life they're getting and how they're being able to practice at a higher level. I mean, loyalty is go out the door very quickly, and then when you're here and you are operating in an environment where there's staff shortages, it's more difficult for you, it's more strain on you. The pressure is more on you, because if there should be 10, there's 6, which means there's more work for you, and it's difficult for you to operate and sustain it over an extended period. David Ware's asked if the local nurses live up to their commitment of mandatory. They do, but during that 2 years, they don't plan to ride out already.
Yeah.
2 years enough their time. I know people who say, I know how to work 2 years, but during that time, I done taking applications and doing interviews online already. So after 2 years done, I busting out because my system's in place to leave, and that's the problem. That's the challenge we're facing. It will always come down to making it more attractive. And one of the most powerful ways to do that is the payment regime, the remuneration packages, the pension packages, all those things, the environment you're working in.
And so we have a scenario where USA is the more difficult to get in, the most difficult to get in, because you have to sit by exam and all of that. And then you have England, which is the easiest to get in, UK, Scotland, whatnot. So you have a situation where if a nurse wants to leave, he or she can leave within 1 month, or within 3 years if you want to go to the US, because it's a whole process. So that is really the reason why the situation is not as worse, even more worse, is because of the time frame to get into the US. If it was easy as UK, then you would have seen.
Did the Cuban nurses situation help? And what is the status of that now?
Yes, it helps, but let me tell you something. And the Cuban, let me tell you, the Cuban nurses, the minister repeatedly indicates the Cuban nurses are brought in to deal with the specialist nurses shortage. But here's the ironic thing. Those Cuban nurses who come are not specialist nurses. And we have found that with when they come in. The Cuban general trained nurse is trained at a higher level than our local nurses. They are able to do much more skills than the average nurse in Trinidad and Tobago. And that is only because, again, of leadership. Leadership at the Nursing Council and at the Ministry of Health to upgrade the scope of practice for nurses to expand what they can do. Nursing profession has grown over the years. Unfortunately, it has not grown in Trinidad and Tobago in terms of the scope of practice. Again, that's what I'm saying. Leadership is so critical because the legislation needs to change. So they are trained at a higher level, like most nurses throughout the world are trained at a higher basic level. But then when the nurses that they're bringing in are almost like they have a major and a minor. Their major is general train, and then they will minor in ICU nursing or trauma nursing or something like that. It is not that they are specialist ICU nurses, it's that they just had a little extra training during their initial 4 years, and that allows them to know certain information. Our nurses are just trained at the general level, and then they go on to do specialist nursing training. So when our ICU nurses encounter these nurses that the Ministry of Health say are ICU nurses, but really they are really general nurses, and they bring them in, now our ICU nurses have to train these Cuban nurses in ICU care, because they are not true. Cuba is not letting go of their specialist nurses. They are letting go of the excess general trained nurses. So every time we see the ministry talk about the bringing in specialist nurses, we just have to laugh, and the nursing community laugh, because we very well know they are not specialist nurses.
Let me ask you, is there a general interest in nursing in the country? From a student perspective, is there a general interest in nursing as a profession, would you say?
It is growing. I could definitely say it is growing.
And I ask that for one reason. To me, given all that has been discussed by the ministry's officials, the trends we're seeing in the attrition of nurses, to me, this is an opportunity for Trinidad and Tobago to become a nursing training center and make money, and people from across the Caribbean coming here and training, and we're becoming a center for training nurses for all over the world and ourselves and all over the world. To me, this is it seems like an opportunity in crisis, but why isn't everybody seeing it like that?
Again, Paul, as governance, let me tell you what you just said there. That is a CARICOM policy over 30 years. Would you believe that? CARICOM did a whole comprehensive document in terms of training nurses for export. And that is what Philippines.
That's what I'm saying. I'm seeing a huge opportunity.
India do. We could be making so much foreign exchange if we invest. If we know, hey, this is what, because you will always have a percentage of persons who don't want to migrate because their family is here, they're comfortable here. But then you have this, it boggles my mind. We could address our labor crunch in Trinidad and Tobago just through the exportation of nursing personnel. Why would you not want to redirect resources into the training of nursing personnel? But to answer your previous question, in terms of if there's an increase in persons who want to become nurses, I would say definitely yes, especially after the pandemic. Persons really have shown an uptake. What we used to get before is persons seeing nurses as a second and third choice, or seeing that, I didn't get into medicine, or I didn't get into pharmacy, so I will choose nursing for a little while. So that is kind of person. So it wasn't really their passion. But now we actually have persons coming in, generally want to be nurses. Now, I'm not sure if they just want to be nurses to be able to go abroad, as opposed to actually working in Trinidad and Tobago. But we are definitely seeing that uptick.
I just think it's such an opportunity. We countries that advance look at crises as opportunities. In every crisis, there's actually an opportunity, and I think we could be this. Just like Grenada is now a center for training medical professionals.
Yes.
We have 5 universities here, five universities and training centers.
And we have hospitals half empty.
Hospitals.
I went to Cuba Hospital the other day to do some training, and I couldn't believe how empty it was. I say, my God, this is what our taxpayers' money is being utilized to operate.
Empty in terms of what, Edie?
It not fully utilized, and it's really specific areas within the hospital that is being utilized. The accident and emergency department, they started using it for cataract surgery, but the majority of the hospital is not operating to full capacity and cannot operate to full capacity because we don't have the human resource.
Yeah. But you remember the argument at the time when they were going to build that hospital. Why are they building a hospital right there when Mount Hope is already there and underutilized?
Yeah, well, it was a flawed policy. There was no, before that hospital, discussion of that hospital, there was no paper done to demonstrate this hospital was needed. There was always, the Point 14 hospital was always on the cards. So that is something different. Yes. The Arima hospital was kind of on the cards, but it was not going ahead because they didn't have the population needed to justify the need to have a hospital there, because they had the Granley and then you had the Eric Williams. But I guess the population numbers would have changed and they decided to go ahead with the Arima hospital. But really and truly, that Roxborough hospital, again, underutilized. It's really a shame. And again, we have already indicated Trinidad and Tobago has more secondary healthcare facilities per square mile than any other most countries.
But hospitals are more human resource, equally human resource as infrastructure. Yeah, thanks for being with us this morning.
Thanks so much.
Much appreciated your time and contribution. All right.
Thank you, Edie.
Yeah, thanks so much, Edie. All the best to you. Take care.
That Arima hospital confuses me because it doesn't seem like it's a hospital that you could just walk into.
Is it a health depot also?
No, but I'm talking about the general hospital. Okay. You have the general hospital and you have the health depot that I call it, that is annexed to it. But it seems as if you have to go to the health depot first and get a referral to go to the hospital. It's weird. It's not clear. The process is not clear. You don't feel like you could just drive up to the main general hospital and walk in and sit down and say, I am ill. It seems like you have to go to the health depot, which of course is not the, well, I've had my run-ins there already, but I'm just saying it doesn't seem to be clear, even to the residents of Arima, how that works. I had heard once, I don't know how true it is, that Arima General Hospital is treated almost like a semi-private hospital, where high members of the political elite will go there, and they have very private wards and stuff like that. That's what I heard. I don't know if that is true or not. Or being a member of the political, maybe you could go undercover and let us know.
Look,
wear a hoodie.
In a 10-year period, we'd be able to wipe out his debt. We'd be able to help make sure that all those things we need to do, child care, elder care, making sure that we continue to strengthen our healthcare system, making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the with the COVID. Excuse me, with dealing with everything we have to do with. Look. If we finally beat Medicare.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump?
No, America, no.
That's just one.
No, America, no.
Just one.
Yeah, that was the first one I saw, and I said,
that's just one.
This is too painful.
Yeah. I'm sure Dr. Jill Biden was to tell him, Joe, you had to step down.
No.
Nah, she ain't
no. And it is not uncommon for him to lose his trend of thought and freeze like that.
No.
Yeah.
It was so sad to look at.
Yeah.
It just looked so sad. This is the man who could open the suitcase and the button there, you know.
You see that video there, Paul? I want you to play that again because I want people to have a reason to come down by Rumbox this weekend, today. I'm doing 3 polar bear for $20. You're getting a special. That's a good reason to come by Rumbox today. That video there.
It'll take some minutes. We have a couple of minutes. We'll take parents of those students from SCA as well. Good morning.
Good morning.
Go and buy some ice cream.
Good morning.
Atlanta, Georgia here. How are you guys this morning?
We are good, dearie. How are you?
Who is this?
Not good. I'm recovering from that debate. I don't even know how I watched the whole debate. You don't understand. And Wendell, don't laugh. That's what we have to deal with. But could you answer me one?
I feel it for you all. I ain't laughing, you know. Because I dealt with someone, I dealt with people with dementia already. It is not it's not an easy thing to deal with.
Why are you saying the man has dementia?
You keep saying the man has dementia like if he diagnosed the man. Why you keep saying that if you did diagnose the man?
We don't know. You know, I work in the medical field, so I could see certain things. But however, we don't know. It's not out there what he has. However, my thing is, Lord Father, come on, Democratic. This is all you'll have to offer. You know what I'm saying? It's just it's nobody understanding what's going on with this presidential election out here. I don't know if they watch the postmortem and you know, so they think Trinidad or they have something. I understand they have something to deal with, but remember, this is to me. I'm looking at foreign affairs and how people are looking at us, and you know, to respect us and so forth. It was very interesting last night. It was expected.
You know what all they're waiting on? You know what all they're waiting on? All they're waiting on a live interview where he asking, "Who are you and why am I here?" That's all they're waiting on.
I mean, we have all that already.
You're being unfair to President.
Come off the stage. All I know, I was like, Lord Father, I hope he know he had to go to the left 5 steps, 3 steps down. You know, like Lord, it was, and then Trump. We all trying to figure out what black jobs. You know, because we have immigrants coming and take black jobs, and you know, it's like what? It was sad last night. And it was so sad, I just jumped up. I was like, oh my God, I'm missing Power 102. Because I was to put myself to sleep after that.
No elderly person, regardless, should be made a spectacle like that. No elderly person should be put through that. None.
Good morning, caller.
None.
Morning, gentlemen.
Making a spectacle of
Captain
that.
Ron, good morning.
We'd be able to wipe out his debt.
Hold on, Captain Ron. Hold on. Go ahead, Paul.
Child care, elder care, making sure that we continue to strengthen our healthcare system, making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the with the COVID. Excuse me, with dealing with everything we have to do with. Look, if we finally beat Medicare.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump.
Captain Ron.
No elderly person should be put through that.
Gentlemen, good morning. Listen, it's painful to see and to watch that last night, even to hear it again. But to me, what's most troubling is that in the United States, if you've been convicted in the past or you have any running with the law where your name is registered, you're not eligible to vote. Yeah, we have a man convicted and he's running for president.
That's why it's so sad. That's why it's so sad.
It's one of those anomalies where it doesn't bar him. Yeah, there's nothing barring him from running.
Yeah, you know, it's crazy. You can't even vote for him who is convicted, but he can run and he's convicted. I don't understand it. This double standard here, this what you call it? I can't even think of the word, but it's a lot of double standards going on right now.
Oh, say, can you see?
Thank you, Captain Ron.
Why the dawn's early light.
Oh, jeez. Good morning, caller. Save me. Oh, God, you didn't save me.
No elderly person should be made a spectacle like that.
Good morning.
It's not about age,
Good morning.
Good morning.
Sure, as always. Yeah, with respect to the President of the United States, from the moment I saw him walk towards that rostrum, he didn't look good at all.
I agree with you.
You're absolutely right. He didn't look steady at all, even walking toward the podium.
I looked at him and he didn't look good physically and so on. His responses were incoherent and incomplete. I've seen him stop in mid-sentence, you know. The man is 82 years old, you know, 82, right? America is really between a rock and a...
82-year-olds who are cognitively competent. It is not an age thing.
Richard is a perfect example.
Elderly people who suffer from early stages of dementia should not be made a spectacle.
You keep saying that and you don't know that is true.
Okay. Well, you keep denying it.
No, but officially needs to come out.
You're making a statement of a diagnosis without any grounding in fact.
Good morning,
it's playing out before your very eyes. It's playing out before your very eyes.
if was one of the countries in so-called third world, everybody will condemn them, will condemn those countries, that is. But because it's the free world, the so-called mighty USA, they still putting forward these type of candidates because Mr. Biden was like, when he walk in, I say, but what it is, he's gonna topple over, you know? And then when the other one, Trump, when Trump and all was saying things, it's like, yeah, no, not be far behind. They're so person. I don't know how the United States of America
Ms.
could have
Davide,
chosen people them.
the same America when Muammar Gaddafi and Saddam and them was addressing used to call them madmen and dictators. The same America. So why we can't say anything about Joe Biden? The man is clearly not well.
He is not entered, and I find, and you know, I watch some programs on TV during the day, like The View and all that, and kill them dead. Don't say nothing about him, you know. So
because they have stark choices to the future of the United States, which affects the planet, which is why we all have an interest in it.
Right, Richard. And guess what? Joe Biden at the end of the day.
Right, gentlemen, hold on. Let the caller finish.
You have two choices between President Biden and President Trump. What you want the view people to say?
Richard, and the worrying thing is that Joe Biden.
Gentlemen, let the caller finish.
Let me just finish. And okay, they'll be quoting their ages. And similarly in Trinidad and Tobago, look at our leaders in the middle 70s and so on. We should not have leaders at that age. Yes, barring that experience. So what about people have the age in the 40s, in the early 50s? So you're going to tell me in 5 years, one of these leaders will be there again. They went up like Biden. You all have a wonderful weekend.
All right, Ms. Davide.
The man we saw last night as the US president in 3 or 4 years.
I said that earlier on, you know. The frightening thing is that Joe Biden may very well be the main reason why America go back to Donald Trump. And that will be the worst thing they ever do. Donald Trump shouldn't even be on a ticket to anything. He shouldn't be. And look at today all of a sudden we seen Trump, the man lying blatantly last night, bullying people, abusing Joe Biden, and he gonna be president of the United States again? Oh, please.
But he's convicted also. He's
convicted too.
A convicted felon.
As a matter of fact, the best thing Joe Biden said, he said the only convict on this here right now is you. Joe Biden telling that last night.
You all have a great weekend. Be safe.
Yeah,
and
all the SA students and parents and guardians and all the teachers and so on. Well done. Well done. Of course.
I don't think America is between a rock and a hard place. I think America is between a rock and a very dark, dim, horrible pit.
I have one here, Richard.
Yep.
Huh?
USA is a walk.
No, love is a walk. And it's on July.
America is a walk.
On July 14th, one more show, the final show of Love is a Walk is on Sunday, 14th of July at 6:30 p.m. at Napa. You should not miss it. Have a fantastic, the tickets, I'll tell you when tickets go on sale from Monday. And and of course, it'll be available at the Napa box office from 11 to 6 p.m. on all outlets. I'll give you all of that information. You can keep checking RSRR Productions theater page on the social media platforms. Have a fantastic weekend. The weekend has begun, people. Remember to smile and laugh. It's great for your health.
Folks, have a great weekend. Be careful on the roads. Look out for the young ones. And remember to let go and let God. Bye-bye.